Happy full moon in Leo. This Leo full moon became exact on January 28th at 2:16 p.m. New York time, which was 1916 Greenwich Mean Time. And this was our first full moon of 2021. Not only do we just have this really optimistic and joy-based full moon in Leo come exact, but we also currently have a stellium of the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn all in Aquarius. More on that later. Leo is the most childlike sign of the zodiac, bringing with it an air of freedom, play, and unabashedness. It is an aspect that we all carry within, though unfortunately many of us forget it is there sometimes as we journey from childhood to teen years and into various stages of adulthood. As adults, we can become so disconnected with how it feels to be a child. One of the things that brings me back to that feeling of childlike wonder and innocence is snow. And really weather in general, like interesting weather I love. But snow especially. I love the experience of seeing the snow fly in the winter, and I love just walking outside at night with my dog and feeling the snow on my feet and feeling the snow with my gloves and playing with it. So that's just something that really gets me in touch with that childlike nature and innocence and wonder. Observing animals and nature in general also brings me to that place. I love observing squirrels. I love observing birds. I love looking in the warmer months of the year at different colored flowers and interesting looking trees and interesting looking leaves. And when I was a kid, I was super into nature, and I loved hiking, and I loved just observing, and it's something that I still really love to this day. Sitting by a stream, running my hands through the water, just anything to do with nature, it really brings me back to that place. And I like to sing. I love to sing. I love music, and especially when I'm alone walking at night, I love to sing. I love to just sing silly songs in general to kind of make myself feel comforted. So, what brings you that sense of joy and levity? What brings you into communion with your inner child? Is it your animals? Is it your art? Is it your music that you like? Is it certain TV shows or movies? Watching sports is another thing for me that also brings me to that place. I grew up loving sports. I loved playing sports. I loved watching sports just as much as playing them. And I loved reading newspapers and reading baseball box scores and listening to baseball and hockey games on the radio and going to hockey and baseball and soccer games with my dad. And so just still watching sports to this day brings me back to that place. It's very relaxing for me. And so what brings you into that state of childlike innocence and wonder? What brings you into communion with your inner child? Is it your animals? Is it art? Is it music that you like? Is it certain TV shows or movies? Walking in nature? Video games? What is it that brings you into that place? And whatever it is, taking time to do those activities, do those things that connect you with your inner child is really crucial along this journey. There can be such a weight and seriousness that comes along with this spiritual journey, especially when times get tough or we feel like we're in the dark night of the soul. And we sometimes can lose sight of the simple things, the little day-to-day pleasures like food and play and laughter and just simply being. And, animals and children know how to be much better than adults do. As adults, we get so lost in the soup of the mind. And really this Leo full moon, Leo being all about the inner child, brings us to that place of stillness within, from a place of levity and lightness, not a place of seriousness of, I need to meditate to get to that place of stillness. No, it's just life is joyful just as it is. Life is pleasurable as it is. Life is fun as it is. Even if it's not exactly how you want it to be, there's always little things to find in life that are interesting, that are fun, that are pleasurable. And you can look around where you are right now, wherever you're sitting or standing or driving or walking, listening to this audio. Find something that makes you laugh. Find something that's interesting, colorful, unique. Find something that brings you a sense of levity, of lightness. And that's a great way to really connect with that that aspect of you. And this is what this full moon is really about. Doing an inner child meditation would also be a great idea around this full moon. So when I do an inner child meditation for myself or with clients, I like to have the person go to a beautiful forest and just really sink into this setting. And then imagine the inner child approaching and ask the inner child what they need from you that you haven't been giving them. And usually you'll get information like, I need more attention, I need more laughter, I need to take life less seriously, I need to take time to do the things that I enjoy, whether it's art or whether it's singing or whether it's watching funny movies or whatever it is. And it's a great way to connect. And I imagine embracing my inner child, hugging him, making him feel like I'm there for him and I'm listening to him. And I ask him to integrate with me and become one with the wholeness of me. And if you've never done an inner child meditation before, you might find that the inner child shows up at the age that you feel like you experienced the most trauma. And this is because whatever basic physical or emotional needs that weren't met by your caretakers at that age are what you then spend the rest of your life healing. So if you had a difficult childhood, and a lot of light workers did have a difficult childhood, there can be that lifelong journey of healing that. So the first time you do a meditation with your inner child, they might be at that exact age where you experience the most trauma. The things that people say or do that trigger you most directly relate to those unmet needs of your inner child. As an awakening being, you now have the opportunity to heal the inner child aspect and experience the liberation of being a fully integrated sovereign adult consciousness. And being a sovereign adult consciousness actually doesn't mean we become more serious. It can actually be the opposite. When we're more integrated and grounded, we can just be lighter, and there can be a greater sense of ease that we experience. And people might be able to see that too. To do this, we first must get to know the voice of the inner child and identify what the inner child is like and what they need. So doing an inner child meditation is a great way to do that. Also journaling as if you're speaking to your inner child, and just write, "Dear inner child, what do you need from me? Please speak to me. Please let me know what you're feeling. I want to be here for you. What do you need from me?" Just like any good parent would do for their child. What do you need from me? How can I be there for you? So journaling or visualizing is a great way to get in touch with this. And here's some good questions to ask yourself, and you can journal on these as well if you'd like, to help you get into a deeper sense of communion with your inner child. If I had to guess, what kinds of things have I been neglecting to give my inner child that he or she needs? And this could be as simple as more attention. This could be something specific like, I used to love creative writing, or I used to love painting, and I need to do that, like to really feel a sense of wholeness. And that flows good into this next question. Which activities or creative endeavors from my childhood did I used to really enjoy? Could I bring one of those things back? Have I been taking life too seriously? Do I let myself fall into the trap of the seriousness of those around me? In what ways am I still mean or nasty to myself? How can I stop being mean or nasty to myself? Am I okay with failing? How can I learn to be okay and to forgive myself when I fail or mess up? Do I forgive myself instantly, or do I tend to hold things against myself? Do I tend to let others' negative emotions take me over? How could I avoid this pitfall? Am I okay looking silly to others, or even looking stupid to others? Does what others think of me really actually matter? Am I letting myself be human? Am I letting myself be human? And that's a really great question to ask, because sometimes if we were raised by parents who were really hard on themselves or really hard on us, or had really strict rules, or just didn't let us be who we wanted to be, or if we felt like we had to live up to a certain standard or expectation, there can be this sense that carries throughout the rest of your life of having to be perfect, or having to not step in the wrong direction. And are you able to let yourself be human? And so often as light workers, it can be much easier to allow others to be human than to allow ourselves to be human. So am I letting myself be human? How could I be more compassionate with myself? Expressing the higher personality. Did you know that souls have personalities too? That's right, in your higher form you have a unique personality that other souls recognize in the afterlife or between life space. Throughout your many incarnations, there have been certain personality traits that have been pervasive throughout these incarnations. If you have an unmistakable wit, for example, there's a high chance that you have been quite witty in other lifetimes. If you're very naturally artistic, you probably were very artistic in other lifetimes as well. This Leo full moon encourages us to express our soul-derived personality traits. It is a time to be funny, artistic, creative, charismatic, or informative, whichever brings you that sense of expressing your truest self. This can be an extroverted time, and we may feel the desire to be more chatty and talkative than usual. People are likely to put in extra effort now to be humorous, which I personally love. To me, humor is one of the most important aspects of spirituality. 3 of the spiritual teachers that I respect the most out there, Eckhart Tolle, Matt Kahn, and Sadhguru, I find them to all be very, very funny. I find that often angels and spirit guides can have a very poignant sense of humor as well. Have you experienced humor from your personal spirit guides? In the higher realms, there's such an energetic lightness that humor is very natural. When life starts feeling like it's getting too heavy and serious, find something to laugh about. Aquarius stellium and the Sun conjunct Jupiter. We have entered one of the most interesting parts of the year, astrologically speaking, as we have the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn all in the fixed air sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is really the theme of 2021, and it brings with it an air of revolution and banding together of the common people. We have seen that play out directly in front of our eyes this week, so fascinating, with common folk around the world banding together to purchase stocks of left-for-dead companies GameStop and AMC, the movie theaters, and it's all started by a Reddit group and then went all over social media, causing Wall Street hedge fund short sellers to lose billions of dollars, and for really common people to make a lot of money. It's really a remarkable thing, and definitely nothing like this has ever happened before. But it's absolutely a sign of the times and very resonant with all the Aquarius energy. In the age of Aquarius, the people will take back the financial power. Blockchain-based decentralized banking and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are a start of that, will likely be the basis of the economic infrastructure of the future. Somehow, things will shift so dramatically over the next decade or two that a small number of elites and a select number of corporations will no longer be able to hoard 99% of the world's economic currencies and resources. The people will take their financial power back, and we've seen a glimpse of that future this week. We will likely see more interesting things happening in the realm of finance. This whole saga that's going on right now between the people who bought the GameStop stock and the Wall Street short sellers, it's going to play out still next week. And we're going to see more things like this, or more things to do with finance and the stock market, etc., play out over the next couple weeks, because we have this Aquarius stellium, and we also have Venus, which rules money, opposing Pluto, which is the planet of revolution and rebirth. The Sun and Jupiter were less than 1 degree from one another as well when this full moon perfected. This makes this a very auspicious full moon for manifestation. There's an energy of abundance, success, and joy and happiness that is in the air that you can just tap into if you choose. Although full moons are a time of letting go, this full moon in particular carries more of a manifesting vibe to it with all the Jupiter and Leo energy. Spend some time meditating and visualizing on what you want to manifest in 2021. Making a vision board would be an excellent activity to work with this full moon energy. Mercury exalted and ready to go retrograde. Get ready, everyone. Strap in for the first Mercury retrograde of 2021. Mercury is currently slowing down almost to a halt as it gets ready to go retrograde beginning on January 30th. Mercury retrograde gets so much bad press, but it's really nothing to be overly concerned about. My advice during Mercury retrograde, especially during the station phase right now between January 29th and 31st, and then there'll be another station phase at the end of the retrograde, which will be February 20th, 21st, and 22nd. My advice is to be extra intentional with your life and extra mindful of your communication. Set morning intentions for how you want your day to go and how you want to communicate with others. Mercury retrograde is a great opportunity to practice being a good listener and to practice speaking with clarity. As always, it's best to avoid signing contracts or making large purchases during Mercury retrograde. If you find yourself faced with an important life-changing decision, please be sure that you have all the facts straight and think things through thoroughly before choosing. Wishing you a joyous full moon in Leo. With love, Matthew John. And if you're not familiar with who I am, I'm a spiritual teacher, intuitive healer, Starseed guide, and medical intuitive. And I'd love for you to check out my website. It's youaredivinehuman.org, all spelled out, youaredivinehuman.org. I do have a live Mastery Empowerment course coming up on February 6th. This will be a 90-minute video course, and what we'll be doing is learning the emotional freedom technique, tapping, as it's called, specifically to work with the energy of the chakras. So it's called Emotional Freedom Technique Tapping to Heal the 7 Main Chakras. We're going to go through each chakra from the root on up to the crown, and you're going to learn the meaning of each chakra, what blockages can be present in each chakra, the life themes involved in each chakra, and then we're going to do tapping sequences to heal those life themes, to heal each chakra. And also I'm just going to teach you the general overview, the general formula for creating your own tapping sequences. So after this webinar, even if you have no experience with tapping before, you're going to know how to do tapping for yourself, for anything, for manifestation, for pain relief, for healing, for whatever. So it's going to be a great webinar. It's $33 US dollars, and it is available for sign up right now. You do have to register in advance. It's go to my website, youaredivinehuman.org, click on events and courses webinars, and you can click the link to sign up. Again, it's February 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. London Time, and it is available on demand. So if you miss the live broadcast, it'll be sent to your email address within a couple hours afterwards to watch. Okay? And I'm also offering to get people enrolled in my spiritual mentoring program. This is the most popular way that people like to work with me. I'm currently offering a 25% discount to resident Australians and a 20% discount to resident Canadians, okay, for spiritual mentoring packages only. This is due to the current exchange rate. And just briefly, here's what you get in the spiritual mentoring packages. There's a package A, B, C, and D. Package A, you get 4 90-minute plus private sessions with me in total, including an extended soul plan reading. And in the soul plan reading, what I'm doing is connecting in with your spirit guides and my helper guides to get a look at your life plan, to look at your soul contracts, to look at your past lives, and to look at your future. You get an angel energy healing, aura cleansing, with soul retrieval, inner child healing, and unhealthy attachments purging ceremony, all in one session. It's a shamanic session where we are intending to really just heal any of the woundings within that need to be healed, and to work to upgrade your chakras, and to remove any debris, anything you don't want in your aura. And also the soul retrieval is great too, just for giving you a deeper sense of groundedness and of wholeness. The third session, we do the medical intuitive nutrition reading, and that's for your physical health. So whether you're in amazing physical health or not so good health, whether you have a chronic health issue or you just want to know what are the best foods to eat and really refine your health with supplements, I'm going to do a body scan in that where I will look at what's going on internally, look at whether you have heavy metal toxicity or candida or liver dysfunction or whatever's going on. And then we'll also go over your diet and go over protocols as far as diet, supplements, possibly homeopathic medicines, exercises, meditations, and more. And you'll get, within a couple weeks after the session, you'll get intuitive nutrition protocol with all that information. We also do a chakra scan for the health of your chakras, and you get a report with that as well. The fourth session, we do a Starseed discovery session. This is a journey to your home planet. So if you're interested to know whether you're a Starseed or not, you'll get to know for sure with this session, and you'll get to actually take a journey there. And if there's time and if you need, we do spiritual business development coaching, intuitive psychic development coaching, and also give you spiritual homework between calls. You also get unlimited email support between calls, and you also get 3 bonus webinars, Putting the Past in the Past, Mastering Your Intuition, and Spiritual Hygiene, Cord Cutting, Grounding 101, and my bonus ebook, Developing the Skills of Discernment and Intuition. That's all Package A. There's a 2-payment option on that. Package B is all that plus a 2-hour past life regression. If you've ever wanted to travel to your past lives, this is awesome. It's so much fun and really enlightening. You get to actually experience who you were in other lifetimes. And then Package C has all that, the 4 sessions, the 5th session, which is the past life regression, and then a 6th session, which is a future life progression. It's a journey into your future on your highest timeline in this lifetime. And you also get all of my other webinars, which there's 10 other webinars. So you get 13 bonus webinars in total with Package C, plus the bonus ebook, so that's over 30 hours of content to do on the side. And there's also Package D, which is everything in Package C, plus some bonus optimization coaching sessions. So if you want to check out the options for the spiritual mentoring package, go to my website. Again, it's youaredivinehuman.org. Scroll your mouse over private sessions and click on the first tab. It says spiritual mentoring packages. Now, if a package doesn't work for you, I do offer everything that I just mentioned a la carte. You can purchase any session online just as a one-off session, and you can schedule yourself, and also all the webinars are available for purchase online as well. And if you have any questions about the full moon, you have any questions about the packages or the different options on my website, or just anything at all, go to my website, youaredivinehuman.org. There's, in the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see my picture. It says, Have a Question, Ask Matthew John. Click on that picture and type in your question and your email address, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you don't see that for any chance in your browser, just scroll your mouse over the More tab and click on Contact Me, and then you can go ahead and enter your information in the Contact Me. Okay, so thank you everyone for listening. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I look forward to being back with you for the upcoming new moon in February. Wishing you a wonderful, joyous, happy full moon in Leo. This is Matthew John.